Hello everybody, and you're very welcome to our channel NarcCon on a cold December day. Hope everybody is doing okay. Even great, some of you, I hope. Why don't I hear from the narcissist? Or when will I hear from the narcissist? Is certainly a question I wanted answered when I was discarded by a particular narcissist. It is the most perplexing, shocking, and excruciating time when you have had an intense relationship with somebody and then they suddenly, vavoom, either discard you and tell you you're a piece of you-know-what and that you're the cause of all problems in the world, that nobody is worse than you, or they just go and you have no idea why, where, or to what avail they have ended the relationship. The other scenario is that you actually had to discard the narcissist, although you wouldn't have discarded, you would have ended their relationship in a respectful manner. Probably because the narcissist was cheating or something that vile. Now, when you will hear from the narcissist, or why don't you hear from the narcissist at all? Why are they able to, say, be in your life for a number of years and then suddenly there's nothing? It's not like a normal relationship breakup where you might have some cordial discussions. You might, sort some things out that you need to sort out between you. That is not what a narcissistic discard is like. They literally, you matter no more to the narcissist. You don't exist for the narcissist for a period of time. Just for a period of time. So let me get into what exactly is happening and answer some questions you may have about what goes on just after the discard when you're left thinking, I would say, from my own experience and the experience of others that I've coached, it goes on minute to minute, second to second, where you're ruminating on the narcissist, when the narcissist is in your mind, when you can't figure out what happened in the relationship, when your brain is in absolute chaos and you're in emotional devastation, you're on the ground emotionally. Very, very, very difficult to go through. It's like the aftermath of war. That's how compelling, perplexing and chaotic it is when a narcissist has dumped you, for want of a better term. So what's going on? The narcissist, if they've discarded you, I'm going to give you the two scenarios, discarded or you left the narcissist. If the narcissist discarded you, it was building and building and building as the narcissist went into their devaluation phase of you after they love bombed you to get you hooked into the relationship. So they were discarding you and devaluing you for a very long time before the actual physical big discard, because they may have left you for weekends, they may have left you for a night, they may have left you for a week and always returned. That was basically a control measure to make you more compliant and appreciate them more and not look for your needs to be met more and more and more. So that was the grooming process. The big discard is the behavioral adjustment process, in my opinion. It's part of the narcissist cycle where they have to reject you totally. But the narcissist knows at this point that they have worn you down to such an extent and they have gotten into your head to such an extent that you have become codependent upon the narcissist because of a lot of work the narcissist has put into you during the relationship. So the narcissist is confident that you ain't going nowhere soon. They have done this before to people. They know exactly what they're doing. They may not have it at the front of their brain saying, I'm a narcissist, I'm now going to discard you and put you on the shelf, and I now know that you're under control and you won't be going anywhere for a good few months. They do know at the front of their brain, you are in a bad state. And they know that they've done that to you, but they blame you for them having to do that to you because you were such a bad person and they're such a great person. They're just the dogs, they're amazing altogether as they ride off on their donkey. So to get back to what the narcissist is actually thinking is not thinking about you at all, because it's like they have the money in the bank. They have you in the bank. You're not going anywhere in their mind, until they go to the ATM to get you out, because they've worked on you to such an extent. So they can fully concentrate on the next step in their behavior cycle. Just going to the person now who actually left the narcissist. The narcissist will probably, after a few attempts to get back in with you, leave you alone for a period of time to miss the narcissist and then come in with a new agenda. So if you've left the narcissist, yes, they are thinking of you because they don't want or like to lose a form of narcissistic supply, that being you, I, and whoever else the narcissist decides to hook into their feeding chain. What's the next thing that they're doing? With you banked, or you left alone because it is not going to work with you at the moment, they're concentrating fully on either finding a new supply or working harder on the new supply they found prior to leaving you, or actually moving in with the new supply, and the new supply could actually be the old supply, could actually be an ex. Remember, narcissists cycle people. This is the way they operate. They cycle different people at different times, and they can have 2 cycles working with 2 people at the same time in different stages. So you could be in the discard stage, and the new supplier or other person could be in the love bomb stage. Now, those wheels turn. Those wheels turn, and I'm going to get to that now in a minute. So they're concentrating fully on the love bomb stage, intensely concentrating on that person. So they do not want any interference from anyone else. Now, if you do attempt to contact them to try and say, like, what is going on? I don't understand. What have I done? The things that come to your mind as you're trying to figure out, how could this possibly be happening? They will be annoyed if you do it too much. Certainly be annoyed, or more than annoyed, and hit back if you attempt to expose them to the new supply or to go around telling other people about them and what they've done. Or they will use your contact to prove to the new supply, you see, I'm telling you she's crazy or he's crazy. They're stalking me. They're shouting things at me. They're blaming me for this and they're blaming me for that. Oh my God, I'm so glad I got away from them and met you, the person I should have always been with. Probably the same line they may have used on you, a little variation of whatever. So they're concentrating on the new supply, and they will use your contact with them to button down the new supply basically and say, please save me from the crazy, and you're the best thing that ever happened to me, and you're so much better than the person I was with before. That kind of stuff. So they're really locking the new supply in, and they're going to start the same cycle, the same devaluation process with that new person that happened to you. It doesn't get any better. They get better at manipulating people because they have to, particularly as they lose their looks as they get older, if they've used their looks to hook people in prior to this. They get better at manipulating people. Manipulating. Just listen to that word. That's nothing to do with love or emotion. That's bending someone to do your will by either falsities like saying you love them or threats that you'll leave them. This is base level behavior. It is lower than the animal chain. Animals are beautiful. They are capable of love and affection. Narcissists are below that, in my opinion. Or they could be working on divorce proceedings, building up a nasty case after they've left you high and dry, and that could be giving them fuel. Delaying the process with you could be giving them fuel. Threatening you with letters or not answering letters in the divorce proceedings will be giving them fuel and satisfaction. They'll feel in a control position. They'll be able to boost their feeling of superiority and enjoy any interaction with you, seeing your distress, annoyance, discomfort and pain. The next thing they may be doing, or at this moment in time, as to why you don't hear from the narcissist, is they'll be smearing your name to all and sundry in the background, and be working against you in the background and enjoying not only having left you in a very cruel manner, but compounding the cruelty by interfering in your life and making sure that things don't work out, or reporting you for this and that, or ordering you pizza that you didn't order. I mean, what they do is both despicable, extremely juvenile, and really pathetic when somebody is spending their lives targeting another person to try and destroy them because of their own insecurities, shame, and decision to reject their humanity, basically. You can tell I get very annoyed because I'm hearing what's happening to people. I'm hearing the result in coaching of what these people are doing to other people. And it is all so futile. It's so destructive. I mean, if you have anything to do with one of these sorts, get as far away from them as you can. Or if you have children with them or affairs to sort out, minimize contact, go through a third party. Do whatever you can to basically damage limitation with them. They are not going to change, in my opinion. They may modify their behavior if they go to therapy and have a goal, have some kind of a reward for doing such. But they're not going to fundamentally change who they are. It's like asking you to change yourself and say, go out and rob a bank. If it's just not in you, it's not in you. It's part of who you are. So these are the reasons that you're not hearing from the narcissist. They may also be off, and I've had this experience, they reinvent themselves. They may even be reinventing themselves as you. It's the character trait acquisition thing. You may have had a career doing something, set up a business that they would have poo-pooed, or they're watching you do something and they copy what you're doing at the moment. It's pretty darn believable, but that's what they're going off doing. They're living in a fantasy land. They're totally deluded. And they're going off reinventing themselves, boosted up on the energy that you gave them and the fact that somebody of your caliber actually had a relationship with them. And you see, they're gaslighting you into the exact opposite, thinking that you're lucky to have been with them, when it is the exact opposite. So they're literally, they want to take your traits and then they want you to feel that you're a worthless human being, because if you feel that makes them feel great. Think about this. That makes them feel great. It's the only way they can feel great, knowing that you're, in their minds, a useless person. So that's fascinating. To me, that's really fascinating. That's the way they emotionally regulate themselves. If you've ever heard anybody saying, the narcissist needs somebody to emotionally regulate themselves off. Unbelievable stuff. Okay, so you say, okay, that's all very well, Paula, but when will I hear from the narcissist? Because you may still be trauma bonded to the narcissist, as a lot of us are, for a very long time. Incrementally, the 3-month stage is awful. The 6-month stage is a bit better. You can still be trauma bonded to the narcissist at the year stage, and it can go on for longer. But if you're getting this education, the trauma bond should lessen and your brain should recalibrate, if you keep inputting the truth into it, basically, and building your own life back into what it should be, or into a new version. I don't mean reinvent, I just mean really, really concentrate on yourself and who you want to be and who you know you are at a soul, deep soul level. Everybody knows who they are. Believe me. Believe me, it's the thing we're born with at the first point when we enter life. The memory fades, the memory's overwritten by people telling us who and what we are and what we should be and what we should think. But when you are at a very raw stage after a narcissistic discard, or having broken up a relationship that you were sure was the one, your life relationship, it's a very foundational time where a lot of the things you believed in formerly are stripped away, and you have a lot of crap that the narcissist has tried to get you to believe in. So you work on stripping that away, and you can generally get to the core of your beautiful soul. And that's a wonderful place to be. You will get there. It's a hard journey, but the harder it is, the more worthwhile it is, if that makes sense. So when will you hear from the narcissist? When supply is low, you see, people think I'll hear from the narcissist because they'll miss me as much as I'm missing them. And after all we'd shared together and all the things we'd said, you're judging them from your own human empathic criteria. Sorry, I think Remy's having a dream there. I hope it's not about narcissist, Rem. So, you can't be thinking about the narcissist doing the same things that you think a normal human being would do, because that's not what they do. And I know that's why you're looking at this podcast. Maybe you're searching for information. So I'm saying to you, the narcissist is making a judgment in the back of their mind. You're shelved, or you're being given time before they go back to see what the lowdown is on you. So they're working away, lasting for a certain amount of time on the energy they got from the discarding of you and the confidence building they used through you in the relationship, and anything else they gained in the relationship, if it was financial or whatever, etc., status or a new job. So when supplies then become low, this is one of the reasons you'll hear from the narcissist. See, the narcissist has to negate everything that you did for them. In their mind, whatever they got out of the relationship from you, or whatever you gave them, was all down to their talent, and that it all belonged to them, and that they were entitled to whatever they came out of the relationship with. So when all of these things they got from you start to dwindle, from the bills you were paying for them, from the attention you gave them, from the services you rendered them, from the way you looked after them, when all these things start to become less and somebody else isn't doing that for them, then you will come to their mind. Then you may hear from them. That's one. That's when supply is low. Two, if the new supply, their new partner, starts to give trouble, and what I mean by giving trouble is literally, a few months into the relationship, 3 to 4 months is usually the stage, and 5 to 6 when the beginning of the devaluing behaviour starts. Just an average. Doesn't always go like that, but this is what I have found. 6 to 9 months, the devaluation is well in full swing. So the new supply may be going, just asking a few questions, just getting out of the real in-love phase and looking for normality in the relationship, looking for reciprocality, looking for some of their needs to be met. And the narcissist is, it's not going to happen. After all I've invested in you, it's payout time, mate. I'm going to get from you for everything I put in. I made a down payment on you. My devaluation time is my time where I get my dividends. And the new supply is going, pushing hard not to give the dividends, basically. That's when the narcissist thinks of you, and that's actually when the narcissist starts to mention you. The triangulation of you being the old supply with the new supply. Trying to say, well, Paula, she was quite good at that. I suppose it's difficult to be as good at that as she was, or whatever way they're going to triangulate the new person they're with, trying to make them jealous, trying to make them feel that the narcissist, they need to put out more for the narcissist, they need to be quiet, they need to be compliant, they need to give more, so the narcissist won't be quoting what Paula, Jack, Jim, Sarah did for them better. I'm sure you've had the experience. Please leave your experience of triangulation with the narcissists, one of the narcissists, old partners, as you were being groomed to put out more for the narcissist in the devaluation or in the love bomb, trying to get you hooked more. So you may hear from the narcissist if the new supply has given enough trouble that the narcissist needs to give them a mini discard, or the narcissist just wants to give them the silent treatment, or the narcissist wants to just make sure, have a chat with you or send you a text or see what you're up to, just to feel that they have options so that they don't feel vulnerable. They feel able to withhold on the new supply confidently. Well, if you don't do it, I have somebody else that will. Simple as that. Like a child saying, if you don't play my game by my rules, I'm going to get someone else to play with. So take it or leave it. That's the attitude, basically. They will be in contact with you if you come into money. If you win money, there is nothing faster than a narcissist galloping back on their donkey and pulling up yee-ho at the door, coming back to say, I really realised how much I missed you and loved you. You did you? Well, I've just put my new lottery winnings in a trust for my children, so I won't be using it. What do you think happens in that situation? Do you think maybe that donkey backs up in a little reverse and skedaddles back to the new supply? Excuse the sarcasm. This is just so basic. And, when you get to realise just what these scumbags are like, you go, oh my God, how was I ever with one? Or, where in the world do they think they're going or being? But some of them are really, really good at it. They're very subtle. They're very charming. They tell so many lies. They have people tell lies for them. It's not easy to pinpoint a narcissist. They've spent their whole lives perfecting the art of fakery and falsity and narcissism. So definitely don't beat ourselves up. But getting back to the podcast, so you win money, or if the narcissist hears you've got a new partner or you're interested in somebody else, they'll very likely hoover. Now they may just hoover to get you distracted from the new partner, make you a promise, they want to come back. And then as soon as you tell the new partner that you're thinking of going back to the narcissist and the new partner goes, vavoom, so does the narcissist. This is really about control. It's really about control and not letting anyone else have you. It's about control and ownership. The narcissist really feels anyone they were in a relationship with before is their property, subconsciously. Number 5, I have down here, if you have a healthy no contact regime, the narcissist will, just like I said there in the last one, if you haven't been in contact with the narcissist, so there's been no texts, no, say, drunken emails, no inquiring of their family where the narcissist is or how they are, the narcissist needs to do a control check on you. That really boils down to making sure you're still shelved, making sure you still will respond to a text, making sure, wanting to see how fast you'll respond to the text and in what way you'll respond to the text gives the narcissist a huge amount of information about how under control, how into them basically you still are. Or they'll do it through a flying monkey or a family member or whatever, just to see what your reaction actually is. And the next thing is they will hoover to come back if they have a housing crisis, if it's winter time, if they need to use your boat, if you have a boat, if they need a stable for the donkey, poor little donkey, if they need, whatever, if they need something, they will come back. And this isn't love. This is usury. So if a narcissist is hoovering, have a look at their situation and see, would it be a benefit to the narcissist to come back to you? What can you pinpoint that they might benefit from? And give it a good old analysis as to why this might be happening and why this might be happening now. Like, has their relationship broken down that they went off to pursue, the love of their life, the only one and only? So they could actually also be looking, and this is very, very hurtful for someone, for transitionary supply. And some people call it monkey branching. That means they're going to leave a relationship with the person who had been the new supply, but they're actually viewing an alternative prospect, but they need supply in the meantime before they can embed the new prospect. But they can't stay with the new supply who is now going to be the old supply. So you don't want to be their cushion between relationships, because that would be very hurtful, having them back and then they'd leave again. It's like putting your hand in the fire and do it again a second time. So be very, very, very careful about your assessment of somebody that will discard you like a piece of dirt and then suddenly remember that they love you, or suddenly be able to forgive you for something that you need not be forgiven for. All of these things must be made from a cool, intellectual, intelligence point of view, and not as an emotional kind of kick reaction, So be very, very careful. Okay, and the last thing I have down here is they come back to punish you, maybe for discarding them, for leaving them, or if they didn't get something initially that they wanted from you. So if they left you, see, narcissists are very impulsive. And if they suddenly decide that no, you're being much too obstreperous, and the audacity of you, and how dare you hold them accountable. And the only thing they can do, rather than answer your question, you found them out on something, or you want them to do something that they said they'd commit to, and that's an absolute no-no. So they just impulsively leave without actually fulfilling their agenda, which was maybe to get some of your funding or property or whatever they wanted from you. And they didn't get that. And then after they've left, they realize, heck, if I'd waited 2 more months, I would have been able to capitalize on that 10 grand. So, get rid of this new person because they don't have any money anyway. Go back to you and spend enough time with you so that they can rob you. Then they can leave you fully satisfied and look around for someone else. Now that's it in a nutshell. When will you hear from the narcissist? You will hear from the narcissist when they decide that they need something from you, or their situation is not good where they are at the moment, or they need to come back and get something from you, and to go through another cycle with you. People can go through 7 to 13 cycles with narcissists until you actually get the information and know what you're dealing with. This is a crazy person. This is somebody who goes through behavior cycles. They're not living a life on a normal trajectory. They're spinning in circles. And if you get into one of those circles with them, you're going to spin for a very long time. And it's going to be very distressing, destructive, and distracts you and pulls you away from your life's purpose. So even if it's, painful to rip the bandage off, ripping it off is a hell of a lot better than peeling it off slowly. The very best to everybody out there. Look after yourselves, and we will come back to you soon with another podcast. You're in our thoughts. I know that it's very hard when it's the early stages in particular, but you have a journey ahead of you that's going to be very fulfilling. Stick with it. That's it for now. Bye for now.